Imagine walking through a forest and noticing bones scattered beneath a perfectly normal-looking tree. By the time you realize something's wrong, branch-like tubes have already wrapped around your limbs, drawing the blood from your body like a massive wooden vampire. The 7 Japanese folklore creatures I'm about to show you operate on a level of horror that transcends simple jump scares. They represent primal fears that cross cultural boundaries, which is why, after studying them for years, I've ranked them from merely unsettling to the kind that fundamentally changes how you see the world around you. Let's start our countdown. Number 7. Betto-Betto-san, the Unseen Follower. You're walking home late at night on an empty street. Your footsteps echo on the pavement when suddenly you hear another set of footsteps behind you. You turn around, nobody there. You continue walking and the footsteps resume, perfectly matching your pace. Speed up, they speed up. Stop suddenly, they stop too just a moment after you. This is Betto-Betto-san, an invisible yokai that reveals itself only through sound. What makes this spirit particularly unnerving is how it synchronizes with your movements, creating the persistent feeling that someone, or something, is following you. You can't see it, you can't touch it, you can only hear its presence growing closer with each step. In Japanese folklore, Betto-Betto-san represents our fear of the unseen threat, the danger we can sense but cannot identify. The footsteps behind you trigger a response deeply wired in our brains, the awareness of being stalked by a predator. Unlike most yokai that demand complex rituals or offerings, Betto-Betto-san has a surprisingly simple solution. When you hear those footsteps, simply step to the side of the road, bow politely and say, "After you, Betto-Betto-san." The creature will pass by, its footsteps fading into the distance. While Betto-Betto-san appears harmless, its power lies in psychological torment. The sound of unseen footsteps behind you taps into something primal, the certainty that you're not alone when you should be. But what if the presence doesn't just follow? What if it jumps onto your back? What if it clings to you, grows heavier, step by step, until it's no longer something you can escape from or survive? Number 6. Aorion, the burden bearer. You're walking alone on a forest path when suddenly something heavy drops onto your shoulders. Your knees buckle slightly as an unexpected weight presses down on your back. This is your introduction to Aorion, a small imp-like yokai that targets solitary travelers. What makes Aorion particularly terrifying is how it operates. After leaping onto a victim's back, this creature becomes heavier with each step the person takes. At first, it might feel like you've just picked up a small child, uncomfortable but manageable. But as you continue walking, desperately trying to reach the next village, Aorion grows impossibly heavy until walking becomes a torturous ordeal. The most disturbing aspect of Aorion comes from the moral dilemma it presents. Those strong enough to bear this creature's increasing weight until they reach their destination will find the yokai transforms into gold coins, a substantial reward for their suffering. Those who collapse under the pressure are simply crushed to death. Sometimes the things that weigh us down aren't strangers. They're things we've lived with for years, things we've used, loved, forgotten. What happens when even your own bed turns against you? Number 5. Bura-Bura, when comfort turns deadly. You sink into your futon after a long day, that perfect moment of relaxation as your body melts into the soft bedding. Then suddenly, you feel it. The futon tightens around your neck, squeezing with increasing pressure as you struggle to break free. This is Bura-Bura, one of Japan's most disturbing yokai. Unlike most supernatural threats that enter your home as intruders, this one was already there all along. Bura-Bura belongs to a class of yokai called Tsukumogami. ordinary household objects that gain consciousness and often malevolence after existing for 100 years. What makes Bura-Bura particularly horrifying is how it transforms the safety of your own bed into a death trap. Your futon, the very place meant to provide comfort and rest, becomes the instrument of your demise. The psychological impact runs deep. When even your bed isn't safe, where can you find refuge? But not all monsters hide in objects. Some come wrapped in beauty. Their touch gentle, their voice soothing until it's too late. And now, number 4. Yuki-Onna, beautiful death in white. The blizzard intensifies as you struggle forward, barely able to see your own hands. Through the curtain of white, you glimpse something impossible. A woman standing motionless in the snow. Her skin glows like moonlight on ice, contrasting with hair as dark as midnight that flows around her despite the howling wind. She wears only a thin white kimono, seemingly untouched by the cold that's slowly killing you. This is Yuki-Onna, the Snow Woman, perhaps Japan's most hauntingly beautiful yokai. She embodies winter's dual nature, breathtaking yet deadly. Unlike other creatures that hide their murderous intent, Yuki-Onna displays her danger openly, appearing during the worst snowstorms when travelers are already lost and desperate. What makes her truly terrifying is the method of killing. One breath from her lips can instantly freeze a person solid. Some tales describe her feeding on human life essence, literally breathing in your warmth until nothing remains but a frozen shell. If the Yuki-Onna lures you with love and kills with cold, imagine a being who uses motherhood the same way. She doesn't need to chase you. Your child comes willingly. Number 3, Chanuya, the Dark Mother. A mother's silhouette appears in the dim light of a sick room. She approaches the child's bedside with gentle steps, leaning down to offer comfort and nourishment. The child, weakened by illness but finally beginning to recover, reaches up with grateful arms. This tender scene hides a horrific truth when the figure is Chanuya. This yokai presents as the ultimate perversion of motherhood. Appearing as a woman with unnaturally large breasts and wild, unkempt black hair, Chanuya targets children at their most vulnerable moment, when they're sick and beginning to recover. She offers her breast to these weakened children, but instead of providing nourishment, she kills them through her poisonous milk. What makes a Chanuya particularly disturbing is how she transforms the most fundamental act of nurturing into an act of predation. Often spotted lurking near graveyards, her disheveled appearance offers a visual warning that something is deeply wrong. If Chanuya feeds death to the living, Jubokko drinks the dead. It doesn't look like a ghost or a hag. It looks very, very different. Number 2, Jubokko, the battlefield vampire tree. Imagine finding shelter beneath a particularly robust tree during a hike through an unfamiliar forest. As you settle against its trunk, you notice something strange about the ground around you. White fragments that at first look like stones, but upon closer inspection reveal themselves as human bones. This is Jubokko, a tree that has undergone a terrible transformation. Once an ordinary tree, it stood witness to a massacre or battle where the ground became saturated with human blood. As this blood soaked into the earth, the tree absorbed it, changing from a benign plant into a predatory yokai with an insatiable hunger for human blood. The feeding process is methodical and horrific. When a victim approaches, the Jubokko's branches suddenly animate, extending downward with unnatural speed. What appear to be normal twigs are actually tube-like appendages that penetrate the victim's skin. These living straws extract every drop of blood until nothing but a desiccated corpse remains. After feeding, the tree releases its prey, allowing insects and birds to strip away the flesh until only bones remain, joining the growing pile at its base. What makes Jubokko particularly terrifying is its perfect camouflage. There's no monster to confront, no enemy to fight, just an ordinary-looking tree until the moment its branches begin to move. But the most terrifying thing, it's not what nature does, it's what people do to each other, and what happens when those people come back. Not to haunt, but to destroy. Because sometimes the dead don't rest, they seek revenge. And here we are, number 1, the Onryo, the inescapable vengeance. A woman stands at the foot of your bed, her white burial kimono hanging loosely on her gaunt frame. Her face twists with rage beneath long, tangled black hair that seems to move with unnatural purpose. This is Onryo, the most feared of all Japanese spirits, the vengeful ghost who returns from death to destroy those who wronged them. What separates Onryo from other spectral entities is the sheer intensity of resentment that powers their return. These aren't simply lost souls, they are vengeance incarnate, twisted by hatred so powerful it pierces the barrier between worlds. Japan's history provides an example of a famous Onryo whose wrath shaped entire eras. Emperor Sutoku, after being exiled by his brother, died cursing the imperial line. His spirit allegedly caused civil wars that devastated Japan for centuries. What makes these spirits particularly terrifying is their relentlessness. An Onryo cannot be reasoned with or appeased. They pursue their targets with single-minded determination, understanding exactly how to inflict maximum suffering. A woman who claims to have encountered an Onryo says, "My uncle left his fiancée at the altar, ghosted her completely. 2 months later, he started losing things. First sleep, then weight, eventually his mind. He said a woman was following him. Long black hair, white kimono, always watching. He locked every door, slept with the lights on. He was found dead in his apartment. No wounds, just a contorted face and fingernail scratches from inside the closet door." At his funeral, my cousin took a photo. Behind the casket, there was a pale woman. No one remembered inviting her. While other yokai might frighten through strange appearances or behaviors, Onryo terrorize on a deeper level because they retain human intelligence, combined with supernatural power. They know you, understand your weaknesses, and will exploit them without mercy. So, I'm curious, which of these creatures disturbed you the most? The answer might reveal what you truly fear.